it's a lot of things that take into account when you talking about being viewed as a top 5 quarterback. It's not a laundry list. This is a list that, you know, it has to be taken very seriously.
All right, so my top 5 quarterbacks of Week 11 on the road. All right, so we'll start off with my honorable mentions. These guys, I think, played really, really good football, but didn't make my top 5. So let me start off and name these guys: Lamar Jackson, Will Levis, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, even with the drops from the receivers, and Tua Tagovailoa. I think those guys are definitely honorable mentions on my list. They played really good games. It's similar to last week. It was one of those things where you got 10 guys fighting for 5 spots. But those guys didn't make it on my list because of these next 5 that you see here. So coming in at number 5 on my list is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson with the Denver Broncos had 106.7 QBR, 27 of 35 for 259 yards and a touchdown. Russ is being vintage Russ. And like we talked about in the team report, this Denver Broncos team is one of the best in football right now. Nobody wants to play these guys. Russell Wilson extending plays with his legs, making plays with the arm. He's definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the league and on pace to be the best quarterback touchdown to interception ratio if he continues to play like this. So Russell Wilson, my number 5 quarterback of the week with that win in Minnesota. Number 4 on my list is Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a great bounce back week, had 108.2 QBR, 20 of 32 for 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the interception. Like I said, great rebound week for Josh Allen after they fire the offensive coordinator. Joe Brady gets in and actually starts to call him a much better game. The Bills respond on a short week. And Josh Allen really responded on the short week to really turn the narrative around in Buffalo and made plays again with the feet, with the arm. Josh Allen back to being Josh Allen, and hopefully that continues for his sake and the Bills' playoff chances. Number 3 on my list, Tommy DeVito. Weird name to be saying as the number 3 quarterback on my list, but number 3, Tommy DeVito. DeVito had a 137.7 QBR, 18 of 26 for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. We talked about it last week. DeVito just needed to show confidence in and out of the huddle, calling the play in the huddle, going out and running the offense. On Sunday, DeVito made all the crucial plays on 3rd down that he needed to. He made some big boy throws into some really tight windows. Is definitely making some strides forward. And I'm not going to say there's a quarterback issue in New York because I still think Daniel Jones has got it. But DeVito has definitely put himself in the conversation to be a very good backup and continue to develop, and maybe you have a quarterback controversy in a year or two in New York. But anyway, number 2 quarterback on my list for Week 11, Trevor Lawrence, had 119.5 QBR, 24 of 32 for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then contributed another 2 touchdowns on 5 carries and 17 yards. So 4 total touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, again, bounced back massively this week, making plays with his legs, making plays with the arm, kept things on schedule, kept things moving with this offense. And this team can be dangerous like we've talked about today, moving down the stretch. And there's a lot to be seen out of this team. But Trevor Lawrence, when he's on, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And he showed it this week for being my number 2 quarterback of Week 11. But coming in at number 1, quickly becoming a fan favorite of mine other than Joe Burrow, had the perfect 158.3 QBR, 21 of 25 for 333 yards and 3 touchdowns. Brock is throwing with anticipation, and that's something that very few quarterbacks in the NFL even do. Like I said last week, it's very Drew Brees-like because that's something that Drew did very, very well and what made him so successful. His ability to make all the timing throws and keep things in rhythm, even when the pass rush gets to him, being able to step into that throw and take the shot is a great sign of a true elite quarterback play, regardless of the offense or the scheme that he's running or the playmakers that you have. It just adds to the fact that you've got these great playmakers and you're having these guys schemed open. But Brock Purdy is playing some of the best quarterback play in all of the NFL right now. And it's great to see with someone who was deemed Mr. Irrelevant is definitely becoming relevant and putting himself in the conversation each and every week of being one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And let me just mention, Joe Burrow would have been on my list if he probably played the entire game, but it sucks that he had the injury that he had. So rest up, Joe. Come back next year. Go win yourself an MVP. But no, my number one quarterback for Week 11, Brock Purdy.